Nothing like watching that Google announcement for Stadia to sort of bring things back into perspective. And that's not knocking it. I think that maybe 15, 20 years from now, streaming is going to be the norm for most people. But right now, it doesn't seem to be that way. And Microsoft, in particular, kind of took some shots at him. And I actually like this. Like for me personally, I think this was something that needed to be said. It needed to be done. And what we're seeing is exactly sort of what you would expect from that. I think that Google took some shots at both Sony and Microsoft, and that's really kind of unrealistic for them to go out there and kind of do that while, obviously those are the market leaders or whatever. And, it's just going to be one of those things that sort of we have to see go back and forth. But Microsoft obviously had a response, and clearly as streaming is going to be something that we see more and more from these companies, it doesn't mean that hardware is going to go away, which is a big benefit for Xbox and PlayStation, because Google doesn't have that hardware right now option. They're just saying, hey, our only piece of hardware is, you can take this screen wherever you want to go. They don't actually have hardware. I think that's a disadvantage. He said it's not an extreme that hardware is not going anywhere. He says, I've been building consoles, and this is Kareem Chowdhury, who is in charge of the xCloud initiative at Microsoft. He was speaking in an interview, and he says, I've been building consoles for 15 years. We're not getting out of the console business. We spoke about it in our xCloud videos. We love our consoles. We love that business, and we're super proud to have the most powerful console out on the market today. And that leadership position we hope to retain going forward. And he says, I also believe your best premium experience is going to be dedicated hardware running under your TV in your living room. It's an and conversation, not an or conversation. Everyone loves to jump to the death of consoles conclusions, and I think it makes a great headline, but we don't think that way at all. Obviously, cloud technology is still very experimental, and it's one of those things that a lot of people are going to kind of be talking about lately, especially with this thing. The problem that I have is when you look at it, the latency and things like that, there's a lot of input latency and input lag from the things that we've been seeing. And yeah, that's going to be cut down in the next 15, 20 years. Well, we'll talk about it again in 15, 20 years. For me personally, it's nothing special. I'm not going to abandon my consoles and my ecosystems and achievements and, trophies and all this stuff to play on a non just a streaming platform with none of that. And I'll pretty much stick with what I've known. I think it's bold, but it would have been bolder from them to actually get into the gaming industry, specifically, like have a console now, do a couple generations of that with streaming as well, and then you would have been a much better setup, in my opinion, for the future, and win some gamers over. Just jumping in with no with absolutely no kind of content to show off, and the way they did it, I'm not sure it's the right way to do it. And Microsoft, rightfully so, kind of bounced back and talk back, clap back at them. So I like that. I will link this so you can check it out. Please let me know what you guys think about all this stuff. Sound off, rate, comment, subscribe. As always, have a great day. Rack 'em up. Crapgamer out.